Hey, Nadia.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. It is the middle of it's a Sunday,
hmm
Super Bowl Sunday, in the middle of the Winter Olympics. And
Big sports time.
big sports time makes me want to talk about sports. Oh, and you had a gymnastics competition this weekend also.
Yes, I did.
And I watched my nephew's basketball game yesterday. So, from third grade to Olympic level and professional level, I'm thinking a lot about sports this weekend. But the big thing that is happening today, other than the Olympics, no, I mean, other than the Super Bowl, this morning, Lindsey Vonn, US skier, had an injury while she was downhill racing. And so I
hmm
wanted to talk about that because, well, let's back it up a little bit. A week ago or so, you sent me an Instagram post talking about her injury,
Well, that
um,
a different injury.
a different injury, yeah, when she tore her ACL.
hmm
And why did you send that to me?
Well, not. I didn't send like that she got the injury. I sent a post. She posted after everyone had been talking about she had to get airlifted off the mountain because of an injury. So everyone was just assuming it was something pretty bad. And then she came out and was like, and posted on her Instagram that she tore her ACL, which is not uncommon for skiers. And um, all this, I think she's also had knee replacements, but she tore her ACL. And her post was to say that she was, after talking with her doctors and her physical therapist and whoever she was, whoever was a part of her recovery team, she decided that she was still going to compete in the Olympics the following week, which is now today, basically. Um, and now she's injured again and had to get airlifted again. I'm not quite sure what happened, but there's just been a lot of talk about it. I think I kind of see both sides. I think one side, my like immediate thought is like, oh, she shouldn't have done that. Like, she just her ACL is torn. Like, she's injured, and Olympic level skiing is not like recreational skiing. So I feel like you kind of need all your like you need your body to be like not broken to do that. But then the other side is kind of talking about how like we should just be supporting her in her decision, and like her fall, her second injury that happened today was not necessarily due to, technically it wasn't due to her torn ACL. Like, I think I don't know, you explained something like she hit the
The gate,
gate.
the
Yeah.
flag or the pole that they go around.
Yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, let's back up a little bit. Do you know what an ACL is? Like in your world, have you heard people talk about ACLs and do you know what they are?
I do know what ACLs are. I mean, in a broad sense. I don't really know anatomy very well, but I know it's in the knee. That's
Yeah.
right, right? And it's also very common in gymnastics.
Okay.
So I know that. And it has to do with
So,
the things around your knee.
right. So your knee is a joint and it's where your thigh bone and your shin bones
hmm
and your kneecap all join together. That is essentially
Okay.
your knee joint, right? And you can imagine that in your body, there's these separate bones, and you wonder like what holds it all together, right?
Right.
So one thing that holds it all together is ligaments, and one of
hmm
those ligaments is the ACL, the anterior cruciate ligament. It's called that because it's in between your thigh bone and your shin bone.
hmm
It's anterior because it's in front of this other ligament that is kind of shaped the same way, and then cruciate because it goes diagonally across.
hmm
And we have many ligaments in our knee. We have one, two, a couple that go across in the middle of the knee. We have some on the side. And so all of these are kind of like these passive structures, like packaging tape that holds everything together. Like if you can imagine a bunch of like two blocks and you've taped them taped them next to each other, that tape is like a ligament.
Yeah.
But in addition to those ligaments, we have muscles. And whereas ligaments, our body doesn't directly have volitional control over them, our muscles, we do, right? So there are people out there, even pro athletes, that function without an anterior cruciate ligament. They compensate for that by strengthening the muscles all around in an effort to get the muscles to do what the ligament would do.
Right.
Obviously, it's better to have all the players in the team, right? The ligaments and the muscles, but you know, it's possible to compensate with one of the players missing. In addition, you have these nerves all throughout your body, and the nerves kind of sense where your joint is in place. Like if you closed your eyes and someone placed your arm in a bent position, you would know that your arm was bent because your brain senses where there's a stretch in your arm versus where there's a fold in your arm and what parts are touching each other. And with your eyes closed, if you wake up, like you didn't feel your arm go there, but if you wake up and your arm is bent, you don't need to open your eyes to know, I know that my arm is bent, right? And that's called proprioception. And so it's like understanding, right? So when you get injured, another thing that could potentially get like injured or change is your proprioception, your ability to sense your joints in space. That's, I just wanted to explain what the anterior cruciate ligament is. And it is typically torn when like the knee goes inward and then the knee like joint goes inward and then the other bones go outward, right? Like it makes like like cave your knee in.
Well, I guess my question is, if she tore her ACL, like that doesn't take away the strength she's built in the muscles around it, right? Or does it?
Right. It doesn't, but sometimes if you have swelling or just like any sort, basically, okay, if you have swelling, for example, sometimes your body turns off that connection of the brain to the muscles.
Right. That's
so there are some people that like will go into surgery and then they had strengthened their muscles like right before surgery, but then they wake up and like their muscle doesn't function. It's not because they lost all that muscle. It's because like the body kind of just turns off that connection for a bit and doesn't fire it. But one way to know if that's happening is if you test it. And she had tested her strength and her functional.
I'm assuming she probably has the resources to get all these tests done and make sure in theory that she would be okay. But my thinking is like, when you're injured, well, first, does it not hurt? Like, is there a world where it doesn't hurt when you after you tear your ACL? Or does it
I think you've experienced that. I remember when you were a kid, you had a gymnastics teammate who tore her ACL during floor. I don't know if you remember. She was a little bit older than you, and it totally didn't hurt her. But it just felt unstable, a little bit unstable. So it is possible for it to not hurt that much.
So then I guess like my thinking is when I'm injured, even if it doesn't hurt, there is like that thing in the back of your head that's like, you have to avoid, like hurting it again or hurting it more. So then when that happened to her, when her arm hit the gate, which obviously I've never done ski racing before, but I have skied before, but it's like, that's very different. But like when she hit her arm on the gate, like, and the fall that happened after, it was kind of like, I know it wasn't because of her knee, like it was because she hit it and she was going so fast, but like to catch yourself after you fall like that, I don't know. I feel like having a torn ACL would affect that, if that makes sense. Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, there are so like I don't know if it's just me because my Instagram is full of physical
Yeah.
therapists and athletes. So obviously on my Instagram, it's full of people with opinions
Right.
about what was happening there. And I think we should, I mean, we've already gone into this conversation, but we should say like so amazing that
Yeah.
she had the courage to go for it, and so amazing that she got to this point. And we
Yeah.
know that she has built up so much strength and skill up to this point,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't, if you look closely at the video, which, I mean, I'm getting people's various perspectives of it.
Right.
Once she hits her arm on that pole on the gate, I don't think it's recoverable, ACL tear or not. My
Right.
whole thing
Right.
is it's quite possible that the reason why she hit it is because she didn't have that strength on her left leg as much,
Is
or
the
not. I
leg that
mean,
she
people fall on skiing all the time without an ACL. I mean,
Yeah.
with an ACL.
Yeah. I like is that the one that she tore her left knee? Left
Yeah, she
ACL?
tore her left knee, and you know that when you turn right, you're really pushing into that left leg to
Yeah.
to make that right turn,
Yeah.
right? So like you're pushing into the inside of that left ski, and so maybe she just wasn't quite able to make that turn the way that she wanted to because of hesitation on
Yeah.
that left leg or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe
I
there was just a
know.
patch of ice or like, who knows?
I mean, there's
Could
always a patch of ice there, but yeah, I don't know. I think like yeah, my first thought was like, I don't know why she's doing this. Like, I would not want to, but it's also like, this is the Olympics. Like, I think she was retired for like 6 years. I don't know.
Yeah, so
So
amazing. She
it's like,
retired. I think she had a kid.
everyone was like waiting for her to come back. And so there's also a lot of like, you want to do it for yourself and everyone that's like rooting for you. So then everyone that's like on the ops, like anyone that's not saying she shouldn't have done this is saying, well, you should be supporting her and supporting women in sports. Like she's doing something really amazing, which they're all very true. But I just like, I don't know.
Yeah. I think my big thing was like, yeah, I totally get it. Like you're all the way in the Olympic. You worked so hard to get there. It's just a couple
Mm-hmm.
of days before, like, you just want to do it. And you have all these
Yeah.
tests that say that you can. And actually everybody around you is kind of compelled to tell you that you can too, because they want you to do it too. And if she
Yeah.
had made it, if she hadn't fallen, like it'd be like, whoa, amazing. Like
Yeah.
eat,
I also,
like, and then some, but she had an excuse to at least, I
yeah.
mean, she, at that point, she had an excuse to walk away.
She also, like, I feel like if I don't know, she has so much like um power status to her name. Like as her doctor, as her PT, you're gonna find any excuse to tell her that she can. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't. It's hard to tell people like that no, especially
Yeah,
athletes. So it's like I don't
totally.
even know the doctors that were in this scenario. Like I don't think they probably did not have an easy decision to make. In theory, they probably should have been like, no, don't do that. But it's Lindsey Vonn.
Right. I mean, like it's the whole picture, right? I face this a lot in the
Right.
clinic because I work with young athletes and like,
Mm-hmm.
I have this like little whatever 10-year-old gymnast um in competition season with anterior knee pain,
Mm-hmm.
and it bothers her. It bothers her when
Right.
she jumps and she's actually like doing big tumbling, and she's
Yeah.
10 years old. Like I should probably say to her, like, why don't you just rest and wait till next season? But she doesn't
Yeah.
want to. That's not her goal.
Right.
And my job is to support her goal and her parents'
Right.
goal and her coach's goal. And, with risks assessed, like I'll tell them what the risks are. They still want to do it, then I'm going to do the best that I can to get her to that
Yeah.
competition. And we're talking about a 10-year-old in like level 8 or whatever. It's not even that big deal. It's not the Olympics,
Yeah.
but I know that this is what they want to do. So I'm trying to do whatever I can to keep them
Yeah.
in the sport.
So then putting
Yeah.
it into this scenario, like I don't think anyone could have told her no. She was gonna do it no matter what. So it's not like, she definitely had all the risks like assessed for her. there's no way they weren't, and she knows them too because she's not like she's had injuries before, so she just, I don't know. It's just
My big
unfortunate.
concern, like if I was her partner or parent, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I want you to be able to do this. And I get that there's risks involved with this. But the biggest risk I'm worried about is like your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'd be afraid that a mistake was made. And when I first saw that story this morning, I was like, oh my God, she was airlifted out again. I hope her head is okay. Like I hope,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, there's like a possibility that whatever injury she had today was not related to her ACL at all. Like she could just actually, be hurt in some other way, which is like also not good.
Yeah. Well, apparently
yeah.
she fractured. She had surgery and she's stable, and she fractured. I just quickly looked. She has a leg fracture. I don't know, upper, thigh bone or shin bone.
Fractured her leg.
Mm-hmm. Because she kind of, I mean, I don't even know exactly what it was like, but yeah. And you could see like when she was on the ground, she was like, she was in pain. Yeah, she was in pain.
Couldn't move. I don't like watching videos like that, so I didn't really watch it fully. But
I don't really like watching it either, but I was doing it to kind of like analyze movement. There's like no kind of way around it. Yeah. But okay, the other conversation that's being had is whether or not this is, your role as a professional, like a big name athlete in the Olympics, and everybody looks up to you, whether or not it's good modeling to show the athletes after you that it's a good idea to just go for it. Yeah. Kind of like Kerri Strug. Remember how Kerri Strug ended up winning, helping the US win the gold?
Mm-hmm. Like her story is not like it was at an extreme level, but that stuff happens all the time in gymnastics. Like you do not, like, there is 9 times out of 10 you have a teammate who is like competing on something that should really be checked out, and like, they shouldn't be training at all. But yeah, it's not, it's a good show of like, courage and strength, but it's also like, you also need to know when to stop and when to like, take care of your body. But I don't know. I'm not an Olympian, so I wouldn't know.
I mean, ultimately your body, your choice, right?
Right.
The Kerri Strug story was a little bit different because she was a child. So there was pressure, from coaches and whoever else. And then like, it's this poor kid having to like, do it anyway.
Yeah.
But, your body, your choice. Like if you decide to compete, if you decide to have like an elective plastic surgery, if you decide to, all these different things that you might decide to do there are risks involved, you get to decide.
Yeah. I wish that it ended differently for her, but I don't know. I wouldn't say that I'm not surprised, but I was worried. Not that I know her personally, but it's just a scary situation to be in.
Yeah. But I guess that's the one thing that I haven't heard. And I've heard a lot of like people on my social media feeds talking about it and why it happened, blah, blah, blah. But the your body, your choice thing, it hasn't really been quite said in that way. But that's an important point. Yeah.
Like you have the right to direct your medical choices as an adult. So, that's something she wanted to do. That's something she wanted to do. No one can stop her. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully she's okay now.
Yeah, hopefully she's not in pain. I'm sure she's such a hard worker. I'm sure she's going to recover well and, work hard. And I hope we see her back in competition again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, just sucks that it's at the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, speaking of which, you have your own personal Olympics happening, your gymnastics.
Oh. Not call it the Olympics.
Well, your level.
It's also not the Olympics for my level.
Well, congratulations on the start of your season. And,
Thanks.
I guess it's pretty like commendable for you to have been in gymnastics this
Mm-hmm.
whole time. You've been competing since you were 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what, your 12th year or whatever of competition or something like that.
Yeah.
And you are continuing to participate in relatively challenging gymnastics
Mm-hmm.
all the way until like this age and 21 years old. And you at this point don't practice as much as you used to. So it's
Yeah.
pretty brave also and commendable that you've been able to like continue to throw your body around in this way.
Yeah. I guess you could put it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you. It's a lot of fun, so makes it worth it.
What part of it is fun? The gymnastics or the competition or just the fact, the like
Mm,
bragging
I
rights?
honestly like all of it. I don't really necessarily I don't personally have like bragging rights to this, but it's fun to be on this team, and I've been this is my second year on e-board, so it's also fun to just kind of be like in charge of some parts of what the team does. And the competitions are a lot more fun, a lot less stressful than they were in high school. So it's honestly just been a process of like, I guess, rewriting my gymnastics story, which is like the same for a lot of my teammates too. So it's nice to be like with them. And like, we obviously practice all year long, but I forgot how much we hang out during spring semester. So I've been seeing them a lot, which is like fun too because they're all super nice and they're all fun to hang out with. So it's just a lot of fun. So, but
And your
definitely not
sister's
the
doing it with you now?
Olympics. Yes, and my sister's doing it with me now, and all the new members are just it's a lot of fun to have new additions to the team. Like, can change the team dynamic in a good way, obviously. So it's just been fun to get to know everyone also and watch them like do it for the first time. I mean, like, I think I forget that, I don't know, because I've been doing gymnastics so long that I forget like the little milestones, but I forget that I've been competing and like doing these routines. And honestly, my first year was harder. It was level 8. Like, we're now competing Excel Diamond. My skills had to be harder. We were like judged harder. So it's fun to watch them experience it through their eyes. But yeah.
All right. Well, good luck at your meet this week. And I'll talk to you next time after Valentine's. Hopefully, you can tell me a little bit about any Valentine's dates you might have.
No dates. But I'm going to hang out with my friend from home and her roommate in Connecticut. So just a normal weekend for me.
All right. Well, happy Galentine's then.
Okay. Happy Galentine's and Valentine's to our listeners.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.